ship.
With what?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
How did we get to America? On ships, right? So did everybody on the earth go into slavery on ships? Who went into slavery on ships, brother? That's right.
Crazy.
For yourself, know perfectly that the day of the Lord is coming as a thief in the night. What? As a thief in the night.
Thief in the night.
Right.
The Lord is gonna come as a thief in the night, man. Nobody knows when the Lord is gonna come back.
Right.
Nobody knows.
This the book of wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 24. For wisdom is more moving than any motion.
What?
For wisdom is more moving than any motion.
Right, the wisdom of the Lord, man, right, and the wisdom of life is more moving than any emotion, man, right? And that's what the Lord has given us to speak to our people, man, right? And that thing is gonna move you more than anything, man, right? It's gonna move you more than damn weed, right? It's gonna move you more than that damn Hennessy bottle, right? It's gonna sit there and move you more than damn Keisha, Letitia, right? And all these damn heathenistic women, man. Right.
Oh, you're going crazy.
California, lived in Oakland for about 3 years, lived in Pennsylvania, up in Philly for about a year. I just came from San Antonio, Texas. Just back 2022, I was married. A year later, I got a divorce. 3 months later, lost my mom, breast cancer. And I was going through all this by myself. I couldn't stand to be inside the house that me and my ex-wife had, so I was homeless for a while. Making good cheese, but I just couldn't, you know what I'm saying, stand to be inside that household. So other stuff, you know, I got 2 children of mine that I'm fighting for custody right now. So, you know, I mean, even though I'm making good bread, now I got to go to the white man and, you know, they're going to rape me inside the court. So now it's just like, damn, I spent all this time trying to better myself and shit, just for them to take all my money away. So, I mean, just going through the stuff that, you know, us Hebrew Israelites go through, you know, just fighting a day-to-day battle, man.
Yeah, real quick, go to, give me the book of Psalms. Right, give me Psalms, chapter 30. Alright, verse 5.
Psalms of David, chapter 30 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
For his anger endureth but a moment. For his anger endureth but a moment.
Right, his anger endureth but for a moment. You feel me? So like, right now, right, you understand that the Most High God is our Father, right? We as children. The same way how a father would discipline his children, right? It's the same way the Most High God deal with us. Why am I bringing that up? Because all of us, as a nation of people, we're going through these trials and tribulations. Obviously, some more than others, right? But all in all, we're still going through these different things. So it's saying his anger endureth. Right, read that one more time.
It's for his anger endureth but endureth but a moment.
Right, read.
And his favor is life.
Right, and his favor is what?
Is life.
It's saying that his favor is life. So yeah, as a whole, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we going through this anger. You understand? That's the period we in, unfortunately. Why? Because of all the wrong that we did. Even when you read the book of Jeremiah chapter 16, it said, for ye are worse than your fathers. Ye have done worse than your fathers did. Right? So right now, we in that anger, but it's only for a moment. Obviously, it feels like a long time when you're going through it, boy. Right? But it's but for a moment. Right? Read.
Weeping may endure for a night.
What the Lord say?
Weeping may endure for a night.
I said weeping may endure for a night. Now, is that night literally one night? Nah. It could be everyone. Right? But it's but for a night compared to the things that have been promised to us as a people. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
But joy. But joy cometh in the morning.
And that's what we longing for. That's why we go so hard. Right? That's why we try to get and push these impurities out of our systems and out of our spirits so much, because we know what we're looking towards. Right. You see what I'm saying? We hate this. We hate this life. We don't hate ourselves. We're not waking up miserable every single day. You know, we when we get together, that's when we enjoy each other. You understand? We turn up on the feelings, etc., etc. But we hate this life ultimately is a captivity.
Right.
Right? It's a punishment. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it's not fun. right? But we understand that, hey, in the morning, guess what? Hey, it's his favor. And that's what we longing for and pushing towards, right? But go to the book of Isaiah chapter 12. Give me Isaiah chapter 12, verse 2, and give me Isaiah 26 and 3.
Isaiah, the mighty prophet, chapter 12 and verse 2.
Bring it out.
Real quick, let me get 26 verse.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 26 and verse number 3.
Bring it out.
And it,
At one point, it's just like my fault. At one point in time, like, me myself, I used to smoke heavy too. You feel me? And my reasoning was because you feel me, life stressful, life hard. I'm going through that A, B, and C. So I would use that as a reason to, you feel me, smoke or try to justify myself and why I'm doing what I'm doing. Right? But not understanding, right? And give me the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 1. Right? Behold that. But not understanding that at the end of the day, my comfort can't come from something like drinking. Not saying that it's off to drink or wrong to drink, but I'm just naming these different things. It can't come from drinking. It can't come from smoking. It can't come from, you got some people that be like, yeah, women. Or you got some people that be like, man, when I get on the basketball court and I just shoot some shots, or I'll do this or I do that, I just feel better. Right? But at the end of the day, that comfort gotta come from the Most High God. Because at the end of the day, that's the one thing that's gonna be stable. It's not gonna always be a basketball court around for you to be able to go hoop. So when it's not one, then what you gonna do? Right? Or it's not gonna always be, you feel me, whatever. You feel me, that person that you might confide in or that makes you feel better, they might not always be there. So when they gone, then what? But you gotta, right, and you gotta figure out a way to find comfort, and the best way to find comfort, and first and foremost, the thing that we should find comfort in the most is the Most High God. See what I'm saying? Even when it comes to smoking and different stuff, right, we can't find comfort in that. And then once that high gone, we right back to square one. You see what I'm saying? And once that buzz gone, we right back to square one, right from the south.
and it's the book of 1 Corinthians.
Oh, let me get.
Isaiah 26 and verse number 3.
Bring it out.
Thou will keep him in perfect peace.
Right, it said, thou shalt keep him in perfect peace, read.
Whose mind is stayed on thee.
Whose what?
Whose mind is stayed on thee.
Whose mind is stayed on thee. Say he'll keep them in perfect peace. That don't mean your life is gonna be good, right? What is that saying? That's saying you can be going through all hell breaking loose, but in your mind you at peace. You understand? It's a certain stillness about yourself. It's a certain stillness that the Most High God can put you in because, or while you're going through these different trials and tribulations. Why? Because at the end of the day, you're doing this. Go to Psalms chapter 55. Right, Psalms 55.
Psalms chapter 55 and verse number 21.
Bring it out.
The words of his mouth verse 22. Cast thy burden upon the Lord.
That's why you'll be at peace. So you can be, all these different things can be going and happening, but guess what? You giving that into the Most High God. You giving it to him and like, hey, it's in your hands. It is in his hands at the end of the day. A lot of people don't understand. People think they got control over these different things. At the end of the day, you don't got control over it.
You don't have control of nothing. I had to learn that the hard way, man. I mean, the conversation with God, I mean, even being here today, man, it's a blessing, man. Just, to get here, man. I had to let them know, like, hey, God, man, I really want to come back home to Indianapolis. I'm from here. I graduated from North Central. Okay, I really want to be here. I really want to be around my, my family, my grandparents, getting older, my kids here. And God was just like, man, just handle what you got to handle, and he handles the rest. So I put my foot forward to, make it happen, but without him making the extra steps and doing everything to, follow through, I wouldn't be here. So I had to let him handle it. I couldn't keep worrying about it and everything else. I just did what I had to do, and then, you know what I'm saying, and stepped out on faith, man.
I'm pretty sick most of it, and that's beautiful. And like you said, yeah, you put your faith and trust in him, but you got to take that step to do it. Yeah, to be faith without works is dead.
Right.
You know?
This one. Cast thy burden upon the Lord.
Say, cast thy burden upon the Lord. Go ahead.
And he shall sustain thee.
And he shall what?
And he shall sustain thee.
Read.
He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved.
See, that say he'll never suffer the righteous to be moved. He'll sustain. You see what I'm saying? But we got to put that trust in him. We got to walk in his ways. We got to walk in the ways that's pleasing to the Lord. Right?
The book of 1 Corinthians. Verse Isaiah chapter 26 and verse number 3.
Bring it out.
Thou will keep him in perfect peace, who mind and stayed on thee, because he trusted in thee.
Because he do what?
Because
he trusted in thee.
And like you just spoke about, you said I just had to give it to him. That's you trust in the Lord. You was trusting in the Most High God. And like, at the end of the day, this is the song of your hands, because it is. And the sooner our people come to realization with that and come to grips with that, than the fact of what? At the end of the day, this is his movie. Right? We just playing the parts.
Right.
Our life is in his hand. If I could go home, I got a mind to go home and go back to my family and my kids. Right? But at the end of the day, it's up to him on if I'm gonna make it back or not. See what I'm saying? Same thing, and that applies to everything, right? Bring this out in Isaiah 12.
Isaiah chapter 12, verse 2. Bring it out. Behold, God is my salvation.
You said what?
God is my salvation.
Go ahead.
I will trust and not be afraid.
I will what?
I will trust and not be afraid.
Keep hearing that word trust. Go ahead.
For the Lord Yahweh. For the Lord Yahweh
Right.
is my strength.
Is my what?
Is my strength.
We gotta let that be our strength. We gotta, the Most High God gotta be our strength. We gotta be where we find comfort. We gotta be who we confide in. We gotta be all those different things. See what I'm saying? But the sooner, like I keep saying over and over again, the sooner we understand that and kind of get that and really put that on him, life it ain't gonna get easy. I'll never tell somebody it's gonna get easy. But you'll be able to get through it better. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, strength is what's required. Where is that?
Like, it really, I think the problem is, like you said, we focus on the time with it. You know what I'm saying? We want stuff to happen in our time. I'm going through my situation. I want it to be fixed by like tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But it's all about his time. And you don't realize that, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, he got perfect timing. So you might have to go through something, or a door might be closed on purpose because it's not meant for you to walk through that. They'll open up the right when you do time. But it might take, you know what I'm saying, a month, or you know what I'm saying. Sometimes it can take years for you to get over stuff. I mean, it's been stuff that I had to overcome that, you know, it took years, you know. But, you know, God kept me, like you said, in perfect peace. He didn't let no harm come to me. I'm still living, you know what I'm saying? I'm in good health, you know what I'm saying? But it just took for me to wait this time to open up the right doors, you know what I'm saying? Instead of me just trying to rush and being like, hey, look, I want it done tomorrow, next day. I definitely feel it.
That's beautiful. That's good. And like you said, like we naturally, especially men, we naturally feel like we gotta be, like it gotta happen when we want it to. Like we control freaks, naturally. See what I'm saying? We men, we alphas, like we gotta be in control of it. We gotta be the reason this and that and that and this. Most High humble us real quick. You see what I'm saying? But bring this out.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 19.
Bring it out.
It says, in your patience, possess ye your soul.
He said in your patience, like you just brought out, the Lord said in your patience, possessing your souls. And people don't really give enough attention to something like that, but patience is one of the main things you need pertaining to all facets of life. Patience. You see what I'm saying? Patience is key in a lot of situations. Even in the book of Sirach, chapter 2, it said, be patient with God, change to a lower state. Right? Go to the book of Luke chapter 22. You're already halfway there. Go to Luke 22 and start at verse 46.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 22 and verse 46.
Bring it out.
And said unto them, why sleep ye?
Why what?
Why sleep ye? Rise and pray, lest ye enter into temptation. Read on. It says, and while he yet speak, behold, a multitude, and he that was called Judas, one of the 12, went before them and drew near unto Yahushua to kiss him. But Yahushua said to him, Judas, betrayest thou the Son of Man with a kiss? When they which were about him saw. Start at 40. Verse number 40. It's the book of Luke, chapter 22 and verse 40.
No.
And it says, and when he was at the place, he said unto them, pray that ye enter not into temptation.
Right, pray that ye enter not into temptation. Go ahead.
And he was withdrawn from them about stones cast.
Meaning, all this is saying is he told them, hey, pray that ye enter not into temptation. And then he moved away from them a little bit, probably about to the curtain. Right? And he began to kneel down and he get ready to say a prayer. Right? Let's see what he said. Let's see what he asked the Father. Go ahead.
Stones cast and kneel down and prayed, saying, Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me.
So he asked the Most High God to remove this cup from him. What was he talking about when he said remove this cup? He's talking about the turmoil and the trials and tribulations that he knew that he was getting ready to have to go through, dying for the people. He asked the Most High God to remove it from him. Think about it. Think about if you knew when you was going to die and how you was going to die. You see what I'm saying? And I'm talking about like in the way that Christ had to die, being whipped, scourged, all type of different stuff. Nobody want to willingly go through something like that, right? Now he understood that he had to go through that, but even Christ himself, he like, man, hey, if thou be willing, take this cup from me, right? But watch this, read.
Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done.
He said, nevertheless, at the end of the day, it's up to you, though. Let your will be done. He knew that it wasn't up to him. He knew it wasn't up to him. He said, hey, nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done. But watch this. This is the point, read.
Read on. And there appeared an angel unto him from heaven, strengthening him.
Doing what?
Strengthening him.
It said there appeared an angel unto him, strengthening him. It's like, did the Lord take away his cup from him? Nah. But what did the Lord do for him? He gave him strength. He gave him strength to be able to endure what was to come. And a lot of times, that's what we got to understand too. The Lord not going to take everything from us. The Lord just not going, oh Lord, I'm going through this. Please get me out of this situation. And then the Lord immediately just take you away. Right? Put you in a better situation. It don't work like that. See what I'm saying? Sometimes we got to go through what we got to go through. Right? And the Lord like, hey, no, I can't take you away from this because you got to learn from this.
Right.
But I'm going to strengthen you for you to be able to get through it. You see what I'm saying? That's where it comes from, where it said, you feel me? No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Because, hey, the Lord has strengthened you to be able to overcome those different things, to be able to overcome those trials, tribulations, etc., etc. Right? Right? So praying and asking for strength, that's a beautiful thing. Right? And that's what we ought to do in the last days as well, right? Bring this out in, Luke 18:1.
Luke 18:1.
Bring it out.
And he spake a parable unto them, to this end that men ought to always.
Ought to what?
Ought to always.
Read.
To pray.
To what?
To pray. And not to faint.
And not to what?
And not to faint.
So we got to pray without ceasing, right? We got to pray to the Most High God, right? And not faint. We got to be strong. We soldiers at the end of the day.
Right.
Servants of the Most High God. We are soldiers of the Most High God. Right. You understand? And as soldiers of the Most High God, we got to be strong, and we got to endure these trials and tribulations that we go through. Right? You read it.
Saying there was.
Oh, so like, that's it on that, right? Go to the book of
The book of Revelation, chapter 3, and verse 19.
Bring it out.
As many as I love,
as what?
As many as I love,
Go ahead.
I rebuke and chasten.
I what?
And rebuke and chasten.
And as many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. Chastise. Put you to fire. Put you to turmoil. Go ahead.
Be zealous, therefore, and repent.
And what?
And repent.
That's what we got to do daily. Right? Repent and still be zealous for the Lord. Go ahead.
Behold, I stand at the door and knock.
And what?
And knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him.
Right, and that's what we all want from the Lord, right? You get that in 1 Samuel chapter 30. Start at verse 6.
It's the book of 1 Samuel, so 30 verse 6.
No.
And David was greatly distressed.
And what?
And David was greatly distressed.
David, our forefathers went through the things we went through. Right? David's whole life wasn't happy-go-lucky. He was just chosen and he was the king. David went through stress. Right? This account, we're not going to read the whole entire thing, right? But we're going to get the main points from this. Hey, David was greatly distressed. Why you think, what reason would David have to be greatly distressed? What you think? Because one of his wives left him there. He had 300 more. Right? What reason would David have to be stressed? Right? What happened in this account was all the women and children got taken away while him and the soldiers was gone. And it was on his timing. Right? And it got so bad to the point where even his own men was getting mad at him personally because of what had happened. And they blamed David. Right? And he was greatly distressed because of this. He felt like he got the weight of his nation. Literally, he literally had the weight of his nation on his shoulders. Right? Read.
And David was greatly distressed for the people spake of stoning him.
Right, read up a little bit more.
Verse number,
No, I'm saying read it.
come on, this is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 30 and verse 6.
Bring it on.
And David was greatly distressed, for the people spake of stoning him.
Right, even his own people, even his own people spake about stoning him because of what happened. Read.
Because the soul of all the people was grieved.
Right.
Every man for his sons and for his daughters.
Right, think about it. Think about it. Think about if you left us in charge of your children. Right? You said, hey, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go around the corner real quick. I'll be right back. Can you watch my children? And we say, yeah, we got you. All right? And then you come back and you like, where my kids at? And we like, gone. You gonna feel a type of way. We your brothers, but you gonna be enraged. That's how the people was. And they mad at David. Let's see how David responded. Let's see how he reacted. Go ahead.
Every man for sons and for his daughters. But David encouraged himself.
He did what?
Encouraged himself.
I had somebody pat him on the back.
Encouraged himself.
Hey, David had to encourage himself.
That's right.
He had to strengthen himself, man, to get through that trial and tribulation that he was placed in that particular moment.
Right.
Right? How did he encourage himself? Read.
Encouraged himself in the Lord.
In who?
In the Lord.
Who he leaned upon?
In the Lord.
He encouraged himself in the Lord. He let the Most High God be his comfort. That's who he leaned upon. He didn't go to this place. He didn't go to that place. He didn't go do this. He didn't. He leaned upon the Most High God and the precepts. And that's where he drew his strength from.
Right.
Right? Read on.
The Lord his God. And David was that Abiathar the priest, Amalek's son. I pray thee, bring me hither the ephod of
the ephod.
It's like an ephod of Abiathar, but video the ephod to David.
Right, so the point is, right, he went to go seek the Lord afterwards. So he encouraged himself in the Most High God, and then he went to seek the Most High God. See what I'm saying? To see what he should do next. What's my next move? What do you want me to do, Lord? And the Lord gave him what to do, and guess what? They went and got the people back. Right? He didn't move on his own time, and he didn't move out of anger and shit, because he could have. He could have moved out of anger and just was like,
who gave you that?
Just reacted off of rash and then haste. What did he do? He encouraged himself in the Most High God and suddenly seek the Lord. And that's what we got to take after as well. That's how we got to do it. Right? See what I'm saying? That's us putting our comfort or putting our trust in the Most High God, but also the Most High God being our comfort. That's how you let the Most High God be your comfort. See what I'm saying? Right? Go to the book of Numbers chapter 10 and verse 1. Hold it there. Numbers chapter 10 and verse 1. I'm going first 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians chapter 5. Yeah, that 1.
The book of 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse number 1.
Bring it out.
And it reads thus. And it reads thus. It says, for we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle were dissolved, we have a building of God.
We have a what?
We have a building of God.
Go ahead.
In the house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. For in this we groan, earnestly desire to be clothed upon with our house, which is from heaven.
You know?
If so be that, being clothed, we shall not be found naked.
We shall what?
We shall not be found naked.
How are we clothed? We clothed with these laws, statutes, and commandments. Right. That's our sinews. That's our clothing. Right? That's how we get clothed. People think Adam and Eve was literally naked. No, they weren't naked. They just ain't had the commandments. You understand? Right? Go to 4 and 17.
4 verse number 17 in 2 Corinthians.
Bring it out.
It says, for our light.
Start at 16.
Verse 16.
Bring it out.
For which cause we faint not.
We do what?
We faint not.
For which cause we faint not? What's the cause in which we don't faint? Hey, the strength that we have in Yahweh outside. He the reason why we're strong. He the reason why we continue to press forward and put that foot in front of the other. Right? But go ahead.
It says, we faint not, but though our outward man perish.
It said, but though our outward man perish, go ahead.
Yet the inward man is renewed day by day.
Said that inward man talking about the spirit. It's renewed day by day.
Right.
This flesh, we kill the flesh daily. Right? How do the sin and iniquity that we commit? Guess what? We purge that daily. Right? We remove that from those wicked thoughts. Right? Even thoughts of sorrow can overtake you. Right? And lead you to go down a different path in the wrong path. But guess what? We got to purge that out. And we got to renew the inside of us. Right? Talking about the spirit day by day. But watch this. Keep reading.
It says, for our light affliction.
For our what?
For our light affliction.
As crazy as it's gonna sound, as crazy as it might sound, give me that in Wisdom of Solomon. Give me that in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and 6. As crazy, and give me whole Bible Matthew 11 and 26. As crazy as it might sound, the things that we go through is light affliction. It's light. You see what I'm saying? That's how we gotta look at it too. In the moment, that shit, it don't feel like. In the moment, you like, oh, it feel like the weight of the world on your shoulder. You like, dang. But it's light affliction though, compared to what we gonna receive. You see what I'm saying? Compared to us having many mansions.
Right.
Compared to us literally having ownership of whole entire land masses. Immortal body. Yeah, an immortal body that'll never be tired. My back ain't gonna never hurt again. Right? See, my knees ain't gonna hurt no more. I ain't gonna get headaches. I'm not gonna have to worry about having to clock in every morning. Right? I'm not gonna have to worry about my kids growing up in this wicked world.
Right.
Feel me? We're not gonna have to worry about our brothers coming to us, or me coming to this brother, or this brother going to that brother, and we expressing to them how we going through it. Think about that. We never gonna have to see our people sorrowful no more.
Right.
And that's what we want the most. We just want our people to be happy because of the Most High God, knowing who they are. Right? Guess what? All that, hey, that's worth going through these things that we go through right now.
That's right.
It's worth it. You understand? Guess what? This is how old are you, if your mommy asked? 32. 32. Right? Let's say for the sake of argument, let's say the Lord come back in 30 years. Right? God forbid. Lord willing, he come yesterday. Right? Lord willing, he come yesterday. But for the sake of argument, let's say it's 30 years from now. Right? You'll be what? 62. Right? You're 62 years old. Right? The Lord come. Abba watches our Lord willing, you make it and get the kingdom. Right? Is that 62 years comparable to the eternity that you're gonna live in peace and happiness? Not at all. It's not even a speck.
Right.
That's that mind frame you gotta move in when we going through these things. That's why you had our forefathers say, hey, but this is light affliction, man, that we go through. Go ahead, read that again.
It's the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 4, verse number 17. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment.
Which is what?
Which is but for a moment.
Which is but for a moment. This stuff that we go through is but for a moment. Just like we read earlier in Psalm chapter 30 and 5, where the Lord said, hey, we've been enduring for a night. Guess what? Joy coming from the morning.
Right.
Life. Read.
Working for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight.
It said an eternal weight. That's what our mind frame is fixated on. Eternal life. That's what we long for. That's what we're looking at. Right? That's the goal that we're staring at. Staring it in the face. Right? As we run in this race that we run, we staring at the prize. You see that? Right? You know, sometimes, like, and then you watch basketball in the NBA. You know, every year around the time of the finals, right? When it's the actual finals, the 7-game series, right? They had a little promos and stuff, and the players, they got the trophy right there, and the players holding it like this. Right? They looking at it while they running up the tunnel and everything. And they looking at what they trying to get.
Right.
They see it right in front of them. That's how our mind frame gotta be when they come against truth and walking in these different things. But guess what? It ain't gonna be easy for them to get it. They gotta go. They gotta go on out on that court and they gotta fight. They gotta go out on that court. And they gotta perform. They gotta endure. Right? It ain't for one game either. They gotta go. Hey. Multiple games, and they don't know how long it'll be. They can't say, yeah, it's over in 4. It's a sweep. Nah, they don't know. It could go. You could want it to be over in 4, but guess what? It might go 6 games. It might be 5. Hey, it might be a 7-game series.
That's right.
Then the 7-game series. Guess what? In the 7th game, they going to overtime. Now you in 3 overtimes. You think they like, all right, man, it's too hard. Nah, guess what? They still gotta go and do what they gotta do. Why? Because they know what their prize is. Right? We gotta know what our prize is. What's your prize, brother? Hey, right. That's what your mind gotta be focused on.
That's right.
See what I'm saying? Right, keep reading.
Reading on to verse number 16. Really 17. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, working for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. While we look not at the things which are seen.
It said, while we look not at the things which are seen. Can you see the kingdom of heaven, brother? I can't see it. Right? I don't know what it's gonna look like. We get told how it's gonna be, even though in the scripture the Lord said, hey, eyes have not seen and ears have not heard.
Right.
The imagination of it can't even pop in. You can dream about it, you can meditate on it, what you think it might be, but it's even gonna be more glorious than that. Right. But what it said read that.
It says, while we look not at the things which are seen.
While we look not at the things which are seen, go ahead.
But at the things which are not seen.
At the things which are not seen. That's what we put our hope in. Read.
For the things which are seen are temporal.
They temporal. Right? They wither away. There's not anything that's not going or that can't wither away. There's nothing on earth that can't wither away. Nothing. There's no metal, right? Even metal will wither, rust. See what I'm saying? Even if these buildings, they get left unattended for a couple years, mine's gonna start growing on them after a while, right? They got I forget what it's called, but it's basically maintenance for buildings. You feel me? They gotta take on these buildings every now and then to make sure and might do little minor repairs to it to make sure that it can still stand. See what I'm saying? Even bridges, cars. You gotta get the car down, you gotta get the new oil change in there every couple months. Right? Well, what's gonna happen? That boat gonna left. Right? So we don't put our trust in, we don't put our faith in, we don't put all our chips in the middle of the table, right? For these things that we see right here. We care less about this. This ain't answering the goodness. Right? This their kingdom. Right? Our kingdom, hey, that's what we supposed to read.
But the things which are not seen are eternal.
Right? The things that are not seen, that's eternal. Guess what? Your body can go back to the dirt. Right? It's gonna become a part of the earth. Right? But guess what's gonna always exactly. Things that are not seen, that's what's really eternal. Right? The spirit that's inside you is eternal. Right? That's what we care about. Right? Finish up.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3. Verse 4. For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality.
Right? Said our hope is full of immortality. Read.
And having been a little chastised.
Been a what?
Been a little chastised.
Having been a little chastised. Think about it. If we compare what we go through compared to what Yahweh Shah Mashiach had to go through, who the world calls Jesus Christ, hey, he went through some stuff, right? A lot of people don't get in depth with what Christ really went through. People don't know that he grew up in the hood. He was in Nazareth.
Right.
Nazareth wasn't a nice place in Israel. Nah, Nazareth was the hood.
Right.
Not to mention he had all these brothers and sisters, and they was in a small little bitty house. Right, that's why when they first had Christ, right, they had to go to Mary's cousin's house. Their house wasn't big enough. Hell, not even big enough. They didn't even have one. Right? People don't know that as he was growing up, right? Or not as he was growing up, but you feel me? During his lifetime, he wasn't esteemed as somebody to look upon. Like, oh yeah, I know he gonna be a great man. Nobody said that. When you read the book of Isaiah, chapter 53, it tell you he was. Let's give me that real quick. You got a point.
They were being sick and killed as soon as he was born.
Yeah, as soon as he was born, they tried to kill him. Right? That's Matthew chapter 2. Right? Go to Isaiah chapter 53. Start at verse 3.
Isaiah, the mighty prophet, chapter 53 and verse 3.
Bring it on.
He is despised.
He is what?
He is despised.
As soon as he was born, he was despised. Like the brother said, as soon as he was born, they were trying to kill him. Herod was trying to kill him. Read. That's why he had to go flee into the land of Egypt for a little while. Right, go ahead.
And rejected of men.
Right.
And, a man of sorrows.
And a man of sorrows. Go ahead.
And acquainted with grief. And we hid, as it were, our faces from him. He was despised and he was esteemed.
Read verse 2.
In verse 2, for he shall grow up before him as a tender plant.
Right, it said he shall grow up before him as a tender plant. Go ahead.
And as a root out of the dry ground.
Right, he said he grew up as a root out of dry ground. right? How many plants, how many flowers do you know blossom out of the dry ground? Don't they need to be in good soil? They gotta have water, good soil, nice. You feel me? They gotta be taken care of. All type of things. Guess what? He grew up out of dry ground. Why? Because where he grew up at, it wasn't nothing nice about it. Right? You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
He had no form nor comeliness.
Nor what?
Nor comeliness.
That word comely means to be handsome or beautiful. Right? But chiefly it's going into, nobody looked at him like, oh yeah, I know that's gonna be the chosen one. Oh man, yeah, I know he looked like he looked like he gonna be somebody. Nobody looked at him like that. He wasn't esteemed. He was holy. He was speaking. And he was that way because guess what? People didn't look for him. They had people, if you was following Christ, it was strictly based off of your faith and what you do for you. Not sometimes it'd be somebody 6'8", 6'5", 6'8". They got a long, mighty beard. They got fringes all the way down to the ground. They fresh. Look like they got a glow around them while they walking around. Right? That's how people describe it, Michael Jordan there. Right? Got a glow around them. They like, man, yeah, he gotta be somebody. Of course, man. Damn, beard oil dripping out. Mighty speak. Yeah, he mighty speak. He speaks very eloquently. Right? People will seek after a man like that. Right? Nobody wouldn't seek after little you. Right. Little this brother right here. Right? Think about when you was growing up. Right? I know when I was growing up, I didn't expect to be doing what I'm doing right now.
Right, that's right.
Hey, you wanna know my?
Me neither, man. I wouldn't expect to be in a position I'm in right now.
Hey, all praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. You wanna know what my GPA was when I graduated? Well, my core, not my G overall, but what my core GPA was when I graduated high school. Better bleep this out too.
The buck already told me.
My core GPA when I graduated. My core GPA when I graduated high school was a 1.8.
Oh, shit.
1.8. That was my core GPA. My point of bringing that up is, right, I learned more in the span of 5 years than I did my entire time being in school.
And that's right.
And I could go in that school and start teaching them. Whether it come to history, geography, and they don't want to pick this up. You see what I'm saying? Humbly.
Mine, I'm the exact opposite. I went to the white school, so I mean, I started off in Avon High School. I basically graduated North Central. I graduated with a 3.7. Yeah. After high school, I went to Grambling State. That's a HBCU.
Yeah, I know that.
And after that, I dropped out of college, came back here for a little bit with working warehouse and started getting wrong playouts and everything else, and everybody else get that negative effect on me.
But see,
I moved down east to 42nd and Midhoff, stayed in Carriage House Project, and shoot, like, you know, that's where everything just went down for me. So I was on a downward trajectory. So I mean, everybody expected a little bit from me, but then when I fell out of, you know, college and everything, it was just like downward trajectory. I had to get my way out of that. You know what I'm saying?
Even you simply being an Israelite, we know you're an Israelite, but according to society, it will call you a black man. They're not expecting us to be nothing great for real. They don't expect that from us.
They don't.
Right? But we do great in the Most High God.
Man, when I was down there in Grambling, they didn't expect nothing from us. Like, shoot, I mean, we would play with Louisiana Tech, because that was in wrestling and everything, so we would play them. They would be like, oh, they looked at us like we were less than. Like, even the conditions of the school down there, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real,
Yeah. So, like, but with that, though, and the wisdom that we, knowledge and understanding that we get from the Most High God, man, hey, he sets the things that's lowly on high.
Right.
You understand? What you think the Lord's favorite tree is? I don't know. Or what do you think the Lord's favorite bird is? What's your favorite bird? You got a favorite bird? Alright, would you say that a flamingo is a majestic bird? It's a nice bird, right? Pink. It's a unordinary color for an animal. It's unordinary for an animal to be pink. You know, what's the parrots? Parrots, they be 3 to 4 different colors at times, and they can talk here and there, say little sentences. You know, what's another? What about a cardinal? You ever seen a cardinal before? Red. Yeah, straight up red. These are birds these are a lot of people in the world favorite birds. The Lord's favorite bird, guess what? It's a dove. It's simple. Just a straight white bird. Simple. So not a lot of people, if you ask them what their favorite bird is, they pick a dove. Right? His favorite tree. Right? His favorite tree. Right? You got so many trees. You got a dragon tree. You got a maple tree. Right? It's a lot of different trees that look beautiful and feel me? And yeah, palm trees. People look at palm trees and all of a sudden they just feel happier.
Right.
Right? But these different trees, like they look good. Right. The Lord's favorite tree is a pine tree. You ever see what a pine tree look like? It's just I'll show you right here real quick. Real fast. Show you what a pine tree look like. Come on. That's a pine tree. So people will go and feel me, kind of take a leap real quick on a tree like that. Yeah. This don't look like nothing that's desirable.
Like something that they're gonna make paper out of.
Yeah. Feel me? It's just a tree with a bunch of stuff on it. Yeah. Right? People not looking at that like, oh, that's my favorite tree, but that's how the Lord look at stuff. The Lord takes those things that are lowly and neat that other people wouldn't look at and says, oh no, you know what? Yeah, that's who I'm gonna raise up. That was the same thing for David. David wasn't sought after. Right? David was the youngest of his brothers and his siblings. He was the youngest. Right? He wasn't tall. You feel me? Et cetera, et cetera. Even when you go into us as a nation of people, real quick, give me that in Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 7.
Yeah, so
and hold that in
the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse number 7, and it reads thus.
Bring it up.
The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor chose you, because ye were more in number than any people.
Right, so it wasn't about us being like the greatest nation, right, compared to other people. Right? But the Lord, guess what? Hey, he desired those things that other people don't. You see what I'm saying?
When you say the views, you mean like the number of people?
You said what?
When you say the views of people,
yeah.
You like the number of people.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Like you got some people that be like strict for numbers.
Right.
You feel me? And they'll see this large group of people. You feel like if you see the football team, say your football team, y'all got around 39 players on it. You feel me? 39 players. Y'all not that big. You feel me? But it's 39 players. 39 players is a small amount of players for a football team. Right. Then you go and this other team pull up and they got 53 players compared to y'all 39, and they all big. People automatically gonna be like, damn. Yeah, they look more official. They got their jerseys look nice. Right, that's how it was for us. We wasn't that desirable. We wasn't strong in numbers. And, you see what I'm saying? It's et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right? So we go keep let's read on this. Read that again.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and verse 4.
Yeah.
For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet their hope full of immortality. Having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded.
Right, it said being a little chastised, you shall be greatly rewarded. You keep hearing that all throughout the Bible verses that we've been reading, right? Or through a couple of the Bible verses that we've been reading about, it's a light affliction, or it's a little chastisement, or it's a little this, it's a little that. Because compared to what we're gonna receive, that's why we gotta stay down and say 10 toes for the Lord. Last one we're taking this real quick. Matthew chapter 11. Second to last verse.
The book of Matthew chapter 11 and verse 28, and it reads thus.
Now,
it says, 29. It says, take my yoke upon you and learn of me.
Right, so it said, take my yoke upon you. Right, you know what a yoke is? You said, huh?
Come on. Egg yolk? What are you talking about?
That is also a yoke. You're not wrong. That's definitely a yoke, right? But this type of yoke is talking about fetters of iron, chains.
Okay.
Right? Like, we don't got no picture of it, I don't think. But slaves, right, they would put a yoke of iron around their neck. So it's like a chain, fetters of iron. Right? So he said, take my yoke. You got it. Oh, yeah. And, right, so he said, take that upon them. Not literally, right, but talking about that, those trials and tribulations, those burdens, right?
It's the book of Matthew 11 verse 28. It says, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden.
And are what?
And are heavy
He
laden.
said all you that are heavy laden. When you say you heavy laden, heavy laden meaning you got a lot of burdens on you.
A lot of
Yeah. Read.
And I will give you rest.
What the Lord say?
And I will give you rest.
Hey, the Lord said, I'll give you rest. He said, come unto me, ye that are heavy laden. Hey, I'll give you rest. Right, go ahead.
It says, take my yoke upon you and learn of me. For I am meek and lowly in heart.
He said, for I am meek and lowly in heart. Go ahead.
And ye shall find rest unto your soul.
Hey, we'll get that rest through what? Following the Lord. Following the Most High God. Learning, right, from Christ. Right? You know?
And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For God proved them.
For God what?
For God proved them.
While we go through trials and tribulations,
For God proved them.
Lord proving you. You gotta think about it. A friend, a wife, a friend, a brother is not known when everything is going well. What do I mean when I say that? It's easy to be cool with somebody when everything going cool. Oh, I ain't never had no argument. Y'all all like the same stuff all the time. Y'all never get tired of each other. Right? It's easy to be somebody's friend when it's like that. But what about when stuff get hard? Right? When it get hard, when you got to start to have uncomfortable conversations with your significant other. Right? When y'all go back and forth. When you and your brother fight. Right? When you and your friend, y'all having a disagreement. Are they still gonna stick by you? Are you still gonna stick by them? Right? But I'm saying that not necessarily as a question, but it's more so guess what? You really know who's for you and who's not when y'all go through those rocky phases. Go when stuff get hard, that's when you really know. Right. Like the scriptures tell you in the book of Psalms, right? Hey, a friend is known in adversity. Right? A real friend is known in adversity. Right? How is he gonna treat you? Or how is he gonna treat you when stuff ain't how it should be? When it's rocky, when it get hard, how's he gonna treat you? How you gonna treat him? You feel me? How you gonna treat your brother, your friend, etc., etc. Right? You gonna cuss him out? You feel me? Is he nothing now all of a sudden? Right? Or is he still like, man, you get on my nerve, I love you. You feel me? You're my brother. You feel me? We gonna work this out. Y'all work the situation out, and it is what it is. You see what I'm saying? And vice versa, even with you feel me, a relationship, right? But it said, for he proved them. My point of bringing all that up is, guess what? That's how the Lord doing us. He proving us. He gotta prove us. If the Lord didn't prove us, right? How would he know who really for him and who not? Not saying that he can't know that, but I'm just saying, like, that same tactic is used by the Lord. Real quick, give me that in give me that in
Book of Psalms of David, chapter 94, verse 16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
Read that again.
Who will rise up for me against the evildoers?
Right, said who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Right, go ahead, read.
Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
Against the who?
Against the workers of iniquity.
Right, hey, who gonna stand at that time? Are you gonna go join the workers of iniquity, or are you gonna stand 10 toes for the Lord? Right, these are questions that we all gotta ask ourselves, and these are questions that the Lord even wants to know, right? Judges 3 and 1.
It's the book of Judges, chapter 3 and verse 1. It says, now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel.
To do what?
To prove Israel.
Said, so the Lord left nations literally to prove Israel. Read.
By them.
Right? So the Lord always had us in a proving process, and still to this very day we're in a proving process. Guess how long it took us to get from Egypt to Israel? 40 years. But when you look at it on the map, if you ever get a map or look in the back of your Bible or something and you see the route which the Lord God took us, he did that on purpose. We literally could have went like this is Israel, Goshen. We left from the land of Goshen. This is Egypt. Israel was like right here. We could have went just like that. The Lord made us do this. Right? Just because he was proving us, right? see what I'm saying? Give me that in Deuteronomy chapter 8 and verse 1.
Deuteronomy 8 and verse 1.
You know.
All the commandments which I command thee this day shall thee observe and to do, that ye may live and multiply, and go in and possess the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers. And thou shalt remember all the way.
All the what?
All the way which the Lord thy God led thee.
See that? This is Moses right now referencing how the Lord literally took us through all these different things just to try to get us to go to Israel when we literally could have went like this, right? The brother put it up, right? But read on, read that again.
Which the Lord thy God led thee these 40 years.
How long?
These 40 years.
40 years. Imagine getting tried for 40 years. Getting tried for 40 years. Guess what? Hey, we had to go through that temptation for 40 years. The Israelites, our forefathers, went through temptation for 40 years. We get mad when something don't go right for 3 weeks.
Right.
We feel like we get down and out. Not literally, but I'm just saying Jake in general. Jake in general be like, man, this still ain't happened for me. But patience. It all come back to patience.
Shit cook.
40 years in the wilderness. To humble thee.
To do what?
To humble thee.
To humble us. What up?
And to prove thee.
And to what?
And to prove thee.
Keep hearing that again. So these things that we go through, it's not because the Lord is just like, yeah, you're gonna suffer. Nah, you gotta prove it. You gotta, all right, if stuff get hard, is he gonna still turn to his maker? Or is he gonna turn to that weed? Or is he gonna go back and revert back to old ways and old habits? Is he gonna turn away from serving me, and is he gonna put himself on the pedestal and say, man, this ain't working. I gotta go and get in the house. I gotta go do what I gotta do. Right? The Lord looking like, or is he gonna rely upon me and trust in me, knowing that my plan is better than what you got? Right? Right? Read.
To know.
You just read it again.
Alright. And thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee, to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart.
It said to know what was in thine heart. Read.
Whether thou wouldest keepest his commandments.
Whether thou wouldest what?
Keepest his commandments.
And whether thou would keep his commandments. Or what?
Or no.
Or what?
Or no.
Brother, are you going to keep the commandments?
That's right.
I'm a righteous out, man. Clap it up for the brother.
Sir.
So I'm going to leave you with this last question. With this last scripture, all right? All right. There was scripture. All right. Right? Two scriptures, but they're going to be quick. Right? Go to the 1 Corinthians. The brothers, we bring that already for them earlier? 1 Corinthians chapter 3. 16. 1 Corinthians 3, 16, and I still want that number.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians.
Right. These two. I appreciate you for standing up.
Oh, yeah.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3 and verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
You said what?
Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
Right, you the temple of the Most High God, brother. You a part of that temple. That brick that we need, brother, that's you. You that brick, brother. This brother a brick. This brother a brick. That brother a brick. That brother a brick. And you got millions of other bricks throughout the four corners of the earth that make up the house of the Lord. The temple of the Lord. Go ahead.
Know ye not that you are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you?
Right.
If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy.
Right. Said if any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy. Right. One of the ways how we defile our temple, smoking weed. You feel me? And it's cool. It's not cool, but I used to do it too. You feel me? I used to smoke like a chimney, like the brother was saying. But once I came into this truth and realized who I was, right, and more importantly, the law, statutes, and commandments, understanding what I could and couldn't do, right, and how important we are to the Most High God, I had to put that aside. You feel me? No matter how stressful it was or how hard it was for me, I had to learn to do what? Turn to the Lord. And do what? When we turn to him, what we do?
All our problems to him.
You gotta give it to him. So you gotta find comfort in the Lord. And that's what I had to do. You feel what I'm saying? Right? Finish that.
In the Spirit of God, the willeth in you.
Because the Spirit of God dwells inside of you, King. Right? Finish out real quick.
Numbers chapter 10 from the top.
Yo!
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, make thee 2 trumpets of silver.
Start at 2. Oh, yeah, start at
Numbers 11 from the top.
Yo!
And when the people complained, it displeased the Lord. Leviticus chapter 10 from the top. And Nadab and Abihu, the sons of Aaron, took either of them his censer and put fire therein.
And did what?
And put fire therein.
Go ahead.
And put incense thereon. And offered strange fire.
And did what?
And offered strange fire.
They offered strange fire unto the Lord. Right? He said they got their incense, but they offered strange fire unto the Lord. Guess what? Burning weed is a strange fire unto the Lord.
Right.
That's a strange smoke. Right? Read. What happened?
Which he commanded them not.
Which he what?
He commanded them not.
Go ahead.
And there went out fire from the Lord and devoured them.
And did what?
And devoured them.
Killed them. Right? For doing what? Offering up strange fire. Right? We is not meant to be, you feel me, inhaled and smoked. Right? That's why when you do it, what you do is off, naturally. Smoke is not meant to go. I mean, even when it's a fire in the building, when we was children, what do they tell us to do? Stop, drop, and roll, right? You get away from the fire. You inhale it, bad for you. Smoke is naturally bad for your system. Right? With that being said, you understand, it is other ways to be able to, or other uses for it. Right, like our ancestors, they would put it in food, use it for eat, herbs, medicine, different stuff like that, but not to smoke. You see what I'm saying? Right. So with that being said, you be willing to, feel me, get to the point where you could stop smoking weed and cut that off for the Lord. All praise to the Most High. Clap it up for the King. Love you, brother.
$613, right? I'm gonna look them up. $613 number?
2013.
Look them up.
Oh, we can actually send that to you too.
For sure.
All right, Shalom, King. All praise to the Most High. Right. Go and all praise to the Most High, man. It's brothers like that where it don't matter if there was no sheep, even though all praise to the Most High, he been giving the increase today. He been stopping to listen to it. If there was no sheep, but it was just that one brother this whole day, man, hey, the mission complete. Right. Right. It's beautiful to see our brothers and sisters come back to the Lord in sincerity and the truth. Right. You feel me? And want to do right for the Lord and being treated by the day. That's why we come out here and stand in the cold, huh?
Right.
Right. We all got families, households, children, wives. You understand? It's so many other stuff we could be doing, man. But we love our people. We love our nation, man.
Right.
Right. And we every day we strive to have, you understand, that love for our nation, like our forefathers and foremothers did, man. Hey, David loved his nation, man.
Right.
Right? Hey, Esther loved her nation, man. Right? So where she was willing to die for it. Right. Right? Judith, man, she loved her nation. Right? Jehoshaphat, he loved his nation, man. Right? Many of our righteous kings, they all loved their nation. Right? You understand? Right? John, you gotta
It's Esther chapter 8 and verse 6.
Bring it out.
For how can I endure to see the evil that shall come unto my people? Or how can I endure to see the destruction of my
He
kindred?
said, how can I? She said, read that again.
For how can I endure to see the evil?
To see the what?
To see the evil
Read.
that shall come upon my people.
He said, how can I see that? How can I endure to see this? Right? Our forefathers was saddened when they seen the state in which our people was. They was saddened by that. Even Christ was. When he looked upon them and said for the people it's like sheep without a shepherd, he said he was moved with compassion. And he began to weep, man. Why? Because he seen the state of his people. Guess what? Hey, it made him sad, man. Go to Nehemiah.
Or how can I endure to see the destruction of my kindred?
How can we see that? Our people be destroyed, man.
Right.
People be destroyed. Go to Nehemiah, chapter 2 and 1. Right? Go check that out.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 2, in verse number 1.
Bring it out.
And it reads thus. And it reads thus.
Bring it out.
It says, and it came to pass in the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of Xerxes, the king, that wine was before him, and I took up the wine and gave it to the king. Now I had not been before time said in his presence.
Right.
Wherefore the king said unto me, why is thy countenance sad?
Right. He said, why is thy countenance sad? Like, why you sad, Nehemiah? What's going on? What's the word? Read.
Seeing thou art not sick.
Right, he like, y'all know you ain't sick, so what's wrong with you? Read.
This is nothing else but sorrow of heart.
Go ahead.
Then I was very sore afraid, and said unto the king, let the king live forever.
Right, he said, let the king live, and he gave him his little respect. You feel me? Using wisdom. Watch what he get to say.
Why should not my confidence be sad?
He said, what?
Why should not my confidence be sad?
He said, why should, because he had to give him, and notice how crafty our forefathers was in righteousness. He said, hey, let the king live forever. He gave him his respect, and then he replied to him with a smart response. He's like, why wouldn't I be sad? Why wouldn't I be sad seeing what?
So like, being sad when the city, the place of my fathers.
The what?
The place of my fathers.
What?
Success, life waits.
Life what?
Life waits.
Life what? He like, my city is destroyed. Why wouldn't I be sad? Why wouldn't I? Right? Go ahead.
And the gates thereof are consumed with fire.
See that? And the gates thereof are destroyed. And they consumed with fire. Why wouldn't I be sad? Right? And so our forefathers, man, and they love their people, man. Right? They cared about their people. They weren't individualites. Right? And I say this all the time, and it's because it's true, man. You got too many of our people worried about everybody, worried about the other nations. Right? Right? Worried about the other nations. Can't tell you how many times we had somebody come up here, get the word, right? Understand who they are, and then they say, oh yeah, but we gotta get, what about the other people though? Right? What about them? They good. Right? How good are they? They was good enough to bring your ass in slavery.
Right?
Yeah.
So why we worried about them? They straight. We gotta worry about us, man. We gotta worry about our people, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, to get ourselves in order, man.
Right, that's right.
Before we start worrying about all this, the only time we gonna worry about them is when we making them keep these laws and commandments in the kingdom.
Right.
That's the only time I'm gonna ever be worried about them in that way. It's when we get their ass in order. Other than that, hey, I could care less about what they got going on.
Right.
I could care less about if, what's your name? You the man? What's your name?
What's your name?
Right, he like Prince William. Right? But I could care less about if they believe in God. Right? Right, I could care less about if they keep the commandments. Right? I don't need nothing for them. Right? Hey, I need my people keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, man. Right. I need my people believing on Yahweh Shah.
That's right.
Right? All that other stuff, man, we can care less about. Right? Go to the book of give me Nehemiah. Right, chapter give me Nehemiah 2 and 18. And give me the book of Haggai chapter 2.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 2 and verse 18.
Bring it out.
And it reads thus. Then I told them of the hand of my God.
And real quick, hold on. Pause that real quick. Sorry, off. Go to 1 Samuel chapter 10 and verse 25.
1 Samuel chapter 10 and verse 25.
Bring it out.
Then Samuel told the people.
Told the who?
Told the people.
Read.
The manner of the kingdom.
The what?
The manner of the kingdom.
The what?
The manner of the kingdom.
That's what we try to do for our people. We try to tell them the manner of the kingdom. How to get it. Who we are. You understand? Who's it for when the question gets brought up, right? And what to look forward to, right? Read.
And wrote it in a book.
It did what?
And wrote it in a book.
Read.
And laid it, and laid it up before the Lord
Right, all right, that's it on that, right? We can bring this up.
It's the book of Nehemiah chapter 2 and verse 18.
No.
Then I told them of the hand of my God, which was good upon me,
Right.
as also the king's words that he had spoken unto me. And they said, let us rise up and build.
Let us do what?
Let us rise up and build.
Read.
So they strengthened their hands.
So they strengthened their hand. They said, let us rise up and build. And it says, so they strengthened their hands, man. They strengthened their hands for this thing. Right? And that's what we got to continue to do. Read.
For this good work.
For this good work. It's a beautiful thing, right? To get the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to come together.
Right.
Right? All white people born into slavery.
Right.
They gotta remember that. Yeah. Right? But bring this up.
Haggai chapter 2 and verse 4.
Bring it on.
Yet now be strong.
Yet now what?
Yet now be strong.
Yet now what?
Yet now be strong.
Read.
O Zerubbabel, saith the Lord, be strong. O Joshua, son of Jehozadak, and the high priest, and be strong.
And be what?
And be strong.
Read.
All ye people.
All ye who?
All ye people.
All ye who?
All ye people.
Read.
Of the land.
Of the who?
Of the land.
Of the who?
Of the land.
Read.
Saith the Lord.
Saith who?
Saith the Lord.
Read.
And work.
And what?
And work.
What we gotta do?
And work.
One more time.
And work.
And work, man. The Lord all throughout the scriptures, man, hey, our forefathers, right, and the Most High God, man, they said, hey, look, you gotta be strong, man. We gonna go through these different things. We gonna go through trials. We gonna go through tribulations. Shit not gonna go right all the time. But what did our forefathers and the Most High God always say and always keep the main thing to make that, hey, you gotta be strong, man.
Right.
That you gotta charge it to the game. You gotta be strong. And through all that trials, through all the tribulations, through all the turmoil, guess what the Lord still wants you to do? Work, man. You still gotta fulfill it, man. You still gotta fulfill that work, man.
Yes.
Right? No matter how hard it gets, guess what? We still gotta work, man. We still gotta do this work. That's the greatest work a human could ever do. Which is be a servant of the Most High God and gather his sheep together in the last day.
That's
Right.
There's nothing greater than that. Think about it. We got the greatest job upon the face of the earth. And it's to the point to where, hey, he's stingy with these guys' jobs in the world where they be like, hey, it's hard to get over there. It's hard to get in there. You gotta have these credentials. You gotta have this. You gotta do that. The Lord, hey, the Lord so he said, man, you can't even do this if you're not an Israelite. Right? Give me that. Give me that in the book of Amos 2:11. Go to Amos 2:11. He said, if you ain't an Israelite, you can't. If you don't come from the sea, like you can't even do it.
It's the book of Amos, chapter 2 and verse 11.
Bring it on.
And I raised up of your sons.
It said, and I raised up of your sons, read.
For prophets.
For what?
For prophets.
For what?
For prophets.
Read.
And of your young men for Nazarites.
Read.
It is not even thus.
Is it not even thus? Who?
O ye children of Israel.
Oh ye who?
O ye children of Israel.
Oh ye children of Israel, man. Is it not even you? Hey, this application is racist. Right.
Right.
We discriminate, man.
Right.
The Lord don't care about that law, that the so-called white man law. Ain't no discrimination.
Right.
It don't matter what you are.
Right.
You gotta let him go. Hey, the Lord said, hey, look, hey, this is discrimination that is finest. Is it not even you, oh ye children of Israel, man?
Right.
Brothers gotta take that with a sense of pride, man. Right. Is it not even thus, oh ye children of Israel? And then even there, even at that point in time, the Lord's still picky with who he chooses, man. Right? The Lord's still picky with who he chooses. It ain't even based off of what you did prior. The Lord would take the chief sinner and turn him into one of the mightiest prophets.
Right.
See that?
Right? But the Lord, he knows what he's doing, man. And he chooses, right, who he sees fit. Right? So we gotta, be strong and do what the Lord said, which is work.
Right.
Right? No matter what. Work. Work. Head down, man. Going to work. Man. We continue marching. Right? No matter what the case is. Right? We gonna march all the way home. Right?
Right.
Right? So with that, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh about Shimi Awasad. Kwam Yasal!
Kwam Yasal!
Kwam Yasal!
Kwam Yasal!
Kwam Yasal!
With ship!
With what?
With ship!
With what?
With ship!
How did we get to America? On ships, right? So did everybody on the earth go into slavery on ships? Who went into slavery on ships, brother? That's right.
Crazy.
For yourself, know perfectly that the day of the Lord is coming as a thief in the night.
What?
As a thief in the night.
Thief in the night.
Right.
The Lord is gonna come as a thief in the night, man. Nobody knows when the Lord is gonna come back, man. Right. Nobody knows, man.
This the book of wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 24. For wisdom is more moving than any motion. For wisdom is more moving than any motion.
Right? The wisdom of the Lord, man, right? And the wisdom of life is more moving than any emotion, man, right? And that's what the Lord has given us to speak to our people, man, right? And that thing is gonna move you more than anything, man, right? It's gonna move you more than damn weed, right? It's gonna move you more than that damn Hennessy bottle, right? It's gonna sit there and move you more than damn Keisha, Letitia, right? And all these damn heathenistic women, man.
Right.
Oh, you're going crazy.